Welcome to Not a Real Court. I am your Judge Joe. Joined with me as always, I have the bad guy Kenny,
Oh yeah.
and I have King Matthew, which is
Yeah,
making this episode way worse.
I was gonna say I'm more indentured servant Matthew to this for this one, but we'll get into that.
All right. So we got an episode here where I thought of the topic but didn't think of the outcome of it. So we're going to see how this goes, and we'll see if anyone gets canceled. So today we are going to be debating if you would rather meet your ancestors or your great-great-grandchildren. And by the start of this episode, I'm assuming you can tell which side Kenny is on. So Kenny, tell us why you'd want to meet your ancestors.
You know why I want to meet my ancestors? Because we had our family, like our family lineage, everything taken from us. We don't know what our ancestors look like because all that was taken from us. They said, nope, get on this boat. And yep, put us to work. 400 years. Yeah, that's what I'm going with it. 400. F-O-100.
I can get you tree fitty.
That is crazy. You're trying to mark them down? My lord. All right, Matt, you're up. Tell us why you'd want to meet your great-great-grandchildren. That is a tongue twister.
Because I, unlike Kenny, have a history book and can just look to see this is what happened in the past, and there's the ancestry.com and all that stuff that I can kind of look that stuff back and I can kind of assume, and I can then like not know that. Well, listen, people like our ancestors, I'm not gonna lie, I would like to think like some of mine were cool. They probably all sucked. Like people beforehand, like in a lot of ways sucked. So I would like to just stay like just stupid to the idea that maybe my great-great-great-grandfather owned fields where things were picked. I don't know, anything like potatoes, because we're Irish. No, we're hey, listen, no, we were all indentured servants working on the potato fields, picking the potatoes. That's so I understand. No, so I have the history.
You
books. I see what all that stuff
understand,
is.
like, oh yeah, I went through the same thing as you.
Yeah. Yes. Duh. Haven't you heard all the things that have been going on lately with the ginger movement? We're the
I
same.
did hear about that.
We're virtually the same. That's what the community says. So I'm just up with the times. But yeah, no, I think for me, like I think especially when you talk about like your lineage and just the impact that you're going to leave on the world, I think the only way to actually know what that is just then be able to see in the future. So I think that really is, I think my main argument for the whole thing is I would want to know what the impact that I had in this world ended up turning into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kenny, tell us more about slavery.
Yeah, I got a little more for you. Because that's my history, you know. Don't know if I was a king or not. You told us king back then. I don't know if we were kings or not. So with us, I'd also be able to find out people's names, before they gave us new ones. So just saying. Just saying.
Bro, we were Kilmartins. That happened to everybody. Get out of here.
We all went through it. So like I said, we can go that route. Like I said,
I came over on a boat too.
I can also give some tips like, hey, everything's gonna work out. Just go talk to man. I know it's bad, but it's gonna work out for the better.
It's crazy.
We get to use this. I can be mean to white people. They can't say nothing. So there you go. I can tell them that. They'll be like, okay. And then I can also got the point where, like I said, going back, tracing the lineage. I can also go back and just, try out different foods. I would say as well, because y'all, you got the what you call it? Because you're going to the future, so you're gonna be trying out some different foods. I'll say that. So I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Even more chemicals.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be bad. And I was gonna get to that point too, to where I could go back and try the fruits, when it's at its freshest. Nothing added to it, no additives, nothing like that. I can go back and do that if I wanted to, just if I wanted to, and then I can go back and I can see all the kind of things.
Get one of those.
Our history,
one of those cocaine colas would go crazy.
I didn't even start to consider the aspect of me getting to jump in time, because I feel like that part's important too. So if I got to go into the future to meet somebody, the first thing I'm doing is trying to find out like some sort of sporting event things that happened that day, and then I'm jotting them all down, and I'm
Always comes
leaving that
back to
note.
It
gambling.
always comes back to
It
gambling. I
always
love
comes
it.
back to
Leave-
gambling.
Leaving that note, well, because there's still going to be gambling in the future. We know that people are weak, so
That's what you
that's
think.
that.
And here's another thing too. And while you're going to the future doing that, I can go back to the past and do that because I already know it. And then on top of that, I can be the first person to ever do something. I can just dunk on somebody back in the 40s. And they're like, what was that? He just dunked on him.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I can do that for
if you do that, you're getting burned at the stake.
true. But I'll be like, hey, Jarvis, send me back. They're trying to burn me. Send me back.
You don't get to go into the future. You don't have Jarvis with you at this point.
I mean, look, I can't go back. Like, if you could go to the future and jot stuff down, I can't go back.
Well, no, I mean you can't go into the future to have the Jarvis technology to then go back and then be able to.
I should be able to go back. I shouldn't be able to go back to the past where it's awful for us and have to be stuck there, where you got the future where anything could possibly go on. Like that's why we know what happened if I go back.
I was gonna say that nothing to say that the future is gonna be anything even better than what the past was.
It happens all over again. History
Shoot.
repeats itself.
Right, but that's it. That's right. I can learn something about the future. That really does add a whole lot of aspect to it. But I think at that point you're just getting into the argument of would you rather go back in time or forward in time. So I'm gonna try to just track off of that and just then really start to stick with the idea of like what can I teach that person? Like what if just in that moment of that like interaction time I get to have with them, am I gonna really learn something about my past from that ancestor that I can't just learn from today from trying to do research or anything compared to the person in the future? It could be something minuscule, but there's no way for me to prove whatever it is that I could learn from that and potentially then use as like a positive.
But at the same time, if you're doing that, it'll be the same way as like how I said earlier. I go back in the past and I can tell them stuff like, hey, like I said, it's all gonna work out. Whereas you can't tell them shit because you're from the past telling them stuff about that. They're like, hey, we already know that. Like, that's what they're gonna be like. We already know that. We already know that this and this happened. So that if anything, they'll be teaching you if you want to go that route. Because they will know about more stuff, more technology. Because now we got AI at our fingertips. They probably got AI in their head now at that point, and they can just
Right.
be like, and they can tell you whatever they want.
That's true. That is a good argument. Like, would the technology that I could learn from them, is it advanced enough now that I could actually put it into effect? Whereas if I tried to give any of the knowledge that I have from things going on today to somebody who was born in the 1700s, they're going to be like, I have a fucking what in my hand? a computer? What the fuck is that? Like, I would hope at least when I go in the future, I have some level of like correspondence to that. That technology, technological revolution, like really, I think would have made a big difference.
Yeah. And it'd just be cool. I mean, slave aspect aside, I think it'd be cool. I mean, because we got black people got a really bad history. Let's be real. But like I said, going back, I can go back and see where I came from, and I can look and be like, oh, okay, this like just seeing great granddad version of me, and it's just like, wow, like this is crazy. Like I do look like him. Like I do look just like that man. You know what I'm saying? That'd be kind of cool to go back and see that. To see, or especially like you see the grandma if you want to go that. I don't know how far back we going when we saying ancestor. I don't think we said a specific point. So let's just
I would
say
say it would be your grandparents.
Yeah. Your knuckles aren't dragging. We're not that far back.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
What? That's just
Holy
going back.
God.
That's going back to caveman. That's
that sounded.
Anybody.
I'm glad you said go back to caveman because that sounded.
I thought
crazy.
you
Wow,
meant
you
something
guys
else.
took that in such a
Yeah,
terrible way. I would have never
Holy-
ever said something.
I almost hit end.
context.
I almost stopped the recording. I'm gonna clip that for blackmail.
Oh, Neanderthal day. We're just going back to Neanderthal. No, we're not going back to Neanderthal day.
The other
We're
N word.
drawn
The
on
other N word.
Oh my god!
I knew it was gonna set him up. Let's go. We got him. We got him. But yeah, I think that's my last point. Just going back to just see, because like I said, I already brought up the fact, like, bringing up the family lineage, and then going back and just seeing that would be cool as well. See where you came from. I'm really over here in tears. That shit was funny.
All right, Matt. What's your closing argument then?
Yeah, no, I'm not one to ever look back into the past about looking forward. I want to see, knowing where I came from only gets me so far. I want to know, like I said, what I accomplished on this world and what it carried on into becoming. What sort of impact did I have on the world? If I'm just looking back, I'm just telling somebody else what their impact was on the world, and that's all good and grand for them. But I just, again, I want to know what I did.
All right. With that being said, I absolutely am going with Kenny. I don't think at any point of this episode did it tip the other way. I didn't want to be in Matt's shoes at all. In that. So yeah, Kenny had so many good arguments. It wasn't even close for Matt.
And then the knuckle dragon was
the knuckle dragon was oh my god, you shot yourself in the foot there. Oh boy.
Sorry that you guys did pick Neanderthals. That's
Susie said, "I said yes, I got him."
And he was like, "And we owned fields."
We did the potato fields, the old Irish potato fields.
Oh my gosh.
We need to get out of here before we get canceled. Thank you for watching, and you can find everything over at t13media.com, like our other shows, Bad Guys Spoken, Movie Review, Geek in the Motherfucking Sheets, Unbiased, and Book It. Thank you for watching.